Yes, folks, hello, welcome to yet another MoDXtra Games and Collectibles action figure review. And as you can see from what's on my little lightbox stage here, today's installment is going to be all about the G.I. Joe Classified Series Tunnel Rat figure. Now, stop right there, Jeff. I see you. Fingers poised, about to start typing into the comments. How did you get one of these so early? Where did it come from? Blah, blah, blah. All that usual stuff. It's import stock, okay? Just to get that out up front. But I'm very, very excited. You couldn't believe I was blown away when I got the email saying this guy is on his way. I've had a very busy couple of days and didn't even register it until it basically arrived on the doorstep. So I'm buzzing to be able to share my Tunnel Rat with you folks today. And just to let you know, if you're new around these parts, up top, my reviews are thorough and they take place in 4 distinct sections. The first section is going to be the live unboxing. We're going to travel back in time and I'm going to share with you my experience of cracking open the figure for the very first time. So I'm going to take a look at the packaging and that first instinctual reaction to cracking the figure out of the packaging. Then I'm going to move into the core review section, which is made up of what I call the 3 A's. The first A is aesthetic. How does the figure look? What's the visual experience like? So I'm going to be talking about the sculpts, the paint applications, the textures, the details, all that good stuff that adds to our play experience and our narrative storytelling experience with how the figure looks. Then into the second A, which is articulation. Going to be talking about how he moves, how he poses. And then finally, the third A is accessories and added value. Let's take a closer look at all these extra goodies that Hasbro have thrown in and talk about how they enhance our play experience and how they add to our storytelling and whether they add to the price tag for the figure. And with all that said and done, if you're thinking about picking up a Tunnel Rat of your own, it is my hope that my thoughts today will help you make your mind up. So let's not dilly-dally around. Let's get into it and let's move on and take a look at the live unboxing. All right then, so here's the packaging, folks. We've got the Tunnel Rat in box here now. So I'm doing a little bit of Christopher Nolan style timey-wimey shenanigans because I'm filming this bit before the bit you've just watched. Crazy! But here it is. It's in the standard iteration of G.I. Joe Classified Series packaging that we're seeing at the moment with the kind of black background motif, then the digital render as the central image, a little bit of artwork here down the right-hand side. Once again, some lovely painted artwork and the little cutaway in the top right-hand corner here showing off some of the goodies and accessories. Digital render is super fun. I love what they're doing with these at the moment. He's in some kind of underground tube tunnel there, you know, being a tunnel rat. But I like this little Easter egg in the background there. That's a little reference to the G.I. Joe, the movie. So that's nice. So that's the front. Let's have a look at the back. He's number 83 in the line. We've got the figure with all the goodies depicted once again with a little measuring stick up the side here. Looks like he's just under 6 inches tall, which will be cool because Tunnel Rat's a short arse and we'll compare him next to some figures later, but I think that will make him a little bit shorter than other figs. Import sticker here. So as I said in the intro there, don't go tippy-tapping away on the keyboard. A few highlighted features as well. We've got the stylish knapsacky satchel man bag thing because, you know, Tunnel Rat is a stylish metrosexual man about town. And then we've got his little Tunnel Rat patch there being shown off. Legal bollocks and malarkey on the bottom. And, of course, the data card here. So what we got? Where's my glasses? These are getting smaller, right? It's not me. It's not just me, is it? And where are my glasses? Right, I got the glasses. Here we go. Let's have a look. So it looks like we've got... Oh, right, of course. So as we well know, Tunnel Rat is an avid fisherman, and this looks like a fish being thrown back into the sea because he's a catch and release guy. You know, he's an outward bound outdoorsman. You know, on the weekends, and he goes catching his fish and throwing them back in. That's also what the bullets are all about because he's a hunter, avid hunter, likes to find himself some good grouse over the weekend. But also, it appears these next two are reflective of another recreational activity of Tunnel Rats, which is as an avid amateur historian. So we've got some dynamite here, which I believe is somewhat reflective of his interest in kind of old West gold rush, you know, gold prospector mines. So he's done tours of, you know, like Colorado and Montana and Nevada, checking out those. And this is a little castle, like a little castle tower. So when he came over here to the UK, did a little tour of Wales, checking out the North Wales run of King Edward's castles. Because, yeah, as we all know, Tunnel Rat is an avid historian. Then on the side here, we've got a bigger piece of the artwork there. Better look at the artwork. I'm loving this painted stuff that they're putting on these right now. They're really great. Number 83 again. And then on the other side, we've got the QR code, which I just don't bother with at all anymore, because last time I went there, it just took me to some children's printable colouring in pages that were not G.I. Joe related at all, and the data card again. And there we go, there's all the goodies. So let's get this open, shall we? So I've already popped the tape on the bottom. Let's open that up there. And then we've got the kind of weapons locker piece there, number 83. Tunnel Rat written on the side, and then he'll be in the cardboard frame. Yep, there he is in the cardboard frame with the artwork behind him there. That's all lovely and nice. Okay, let's have a look at in here first. Oh, there's the paperwork. And then a little baggie of accessories. Let's rip that open. Tip these out. Loads of stuff in here, look. Let's just check it's all gone. There we go. Obviously, you have to rip these open like a packet of taco seasoning. Let's see if you notice it in the comments. Got the big backpack, the knapsack. Got his revolver here, his knife, his big old machine gun with his ammo case, his 2 torches, and his night vision goggles that look a little bit warped. I'll have a closer look at them. And then Tunnel Rat in the packaging here. Oh, he's tie wrapped in with plastic wraps. Huh. One set, folks. There we go. Popped him out there. Lovely jubbly. And there we go, there's Tunnel Rat with all his goodies. So it's time now to move into the review section of the video. I'm going to go away for a few days hands-on man-child playtime with this, and I'll come back to do my 3 A's in 3, 2, 1. All right then, here we go. Let's get started with the Tunnel Rat aesthetic then. And here he is in all his glory for you to soak in and enjoy visually. This is, yeah, lots to like, but there's a few things to be not so keen on with Tunnel Rat, I will confess, up top. So, spoiler alert, folks, there's some bits that Chris here has not been a big fan of, but let's get into it, shall we? And as always, let's get started by bringing the figure nearer to the camera so we can conduct a closer inspection of the finer details. And let's begin, I suppose, like we often do, by talking about the head sculpt at the top here. So, the head sculpt is all right. More often than not in these reviews, I've got nothing but great things to say about the head sculpts, but I don't know if it's because they're going for this sort of youthful, more fresh-faced kind of thing. It just seems a bit flatter, a bit less expressive than I'm used to with G.I. Joe Classified series figures. I mean, certainly there's nothing actually wrong with it. We've got the really well-sculpted facial features. We've got the paint applications with the camouflage paint, the little flick of hair coming out from below his bandana, the eyes, the eyebrows, the lips. It's all there. It just feels a bit like there's something missing. I can't quite put my finger on it because, yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's all right. It's a decent face sculpt. I think they are trying to capture a more kind of youthful visage than some of the more craggy, seasoned grizzly types that we've taken a look at before, and he's certainly no scrap iron with his scarred face or anything, is he? But something's not quite sitting right, and I can't fully put my finger on it. So if anyone's got an explanation for that, then let me know in the comments down below. But fundamentally, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a bit Marvel Legends-y, isn't it? Like, it's not serious. It's super vanilla, maybe. I don't know. Like, there's nothing going on there, and I want just a little bit more going on. Perhaps I just want too much. Who knows? Let me know in the comments down below. But ultimately, it's a good head sculpt, good sculpting. The bandana is well sculpted as well. You can see these lovely texture creases and folds in there. And you can see the knot round the back with the nicely sculpted whisper hair sticking out from underneath. It's all lovely, really well sculpted. I mean, look at these texture lines in here as it's tightened up around the knot at the back. Really lovely sculpt. The paint applications are a bit wobbly on the head sculpt as well. Can you see that the line across the bandana there on the underside? It's got some skin colour on it when it should be in the green colour of the bandana, and it's definitely one of those things that once you notice it, you can't stop noticing it. Moving down into the main body, again, the sculpting's good. Like the shirt's got the creases and the folds and the buttons and such like. I just love all this stuff on G.I. Joe Classified. Does suffer a little bit from the old shiny shirt in the middle, and the greens of the arms and sleeves don't fully match the body of the shirt, certainly in the top section here, but it is somewhat disguised by the neckerchief and the cross holster and the bullet belt that's going over his shoulders, although I'll talk about them in a minute. So that's nice. Then down into the arms, camouflage paint applications on the arms. It's got the gloves. Everything's all nice and dandy there. Nice, neat paint applications with these extra little splashes of colour in there to bring it to life. The Tunnel Rat name tag and patch on the sleeve there that was advertised on the back of the box is nice. I love that little rat holding a torch. that's tunnel wrap. You know what I mean? So that's all lovely jubbly. Nice detail on his canvas belt, painted belt buckle. Always happy when I see a painted belt buckle. Nice details in the pouches, across the legs. Got those usual fabric texture in the trousers. Got his protective knee pads for when he's crawling through the tunnels. A nice bunched up bit of trouser action towards the bottom on the boot here. Again, just really bringing it to life, giving it some lovely depth with the texture in here. And then the very practical footwear. Very nice indeed. Now, all this stuff up top is a problem, frankly. The bullet belt here is far too big. So I find it drops, and you know, when I'm trying to get him all ready for a bit of a picky or a bit of a pose I'm trying to get him in, so it kind of falls and it's all loosey-goosey, and I just don't think it's up to the usual standard. When you compare that bullet belt to the bullet belts we've had with, you know, rock and roll and such like, it's not up to standard. You know, like the Range Viper one's a bazillion times better. And because I think it's reused with a different paint application, in fact, it may even be the Range Viper one with a different paint application, it's obviously a bit too oversized for him. And getting all this sort of, you know, all this clearance here and clearance there, and it keeps falling down his arms here, it's highly likely that that bullet belt is going to be removed at the conclusion of this review, never to be worn by him again. But as you can see, the cross holster is a pain in the arse as well. It's not a very good fit across the body. So there's always this sort of raised section up here under the GoPro communicator. And even though I like that they've painted the grenade and they've painted the GoPro and it's got the leather strap effect across there, which is all stuff I positively review regularly with my G.I. Joe Classifieds, all the fiddling in the world has not managed to help me sort this out and get it straight on him or sit in a way that I like. It's been doing my head in. So it's one of those kind of visual things where you're just faffing about all the time trying to get it just right, and then you take your hands away to get your phone for the photo and something will make it fall, or, you know, with the combination of the neckerchief and the bullet belt up here, it's all just very crowded and loosey and just, I don't know, I just can't quite get it to do what I want it to do. Colour scheme wise, everything's fine and dandy. You know, this whole grey, green, brown combo thing is fine. I find that lighter green disagrees with me, but I don't think there's actually anything wrong with it. I think that's just a matter of taste, that I'm just not into that lighter green colour with the grey. It's just not a combo that's working for you, Tanner Rat. I think you need to try something else, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm obviously the height of sartorial elegance. I know a great deal about colours, but yeah, it's just I don't like the green because I don't like the green. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't appeal to me, and it doesn't quite look right with the grey. But horses for courses at the end of the day there. However, it's got that usual thing going on with the G.I. Joe. They like their symmetry, so the gloves match. We've got the brown pouches on either side. It's all framed up nice and well, and it definitely looks like the sort of colours you'd find the character in. I haven't gone away and had a look at any like a screenshot from the G.I. Joe movie or anything, but you know, you look at him, you know it's tunnel wrap. It's tunnel wrap, and the colour schemes seem right for a guy who's going rooting around in tunnels with a torch. So yeah, you know, it works. So aesthetically, yes, I think I'm going to give it a thumbs up and say it's all right by me. I have to confess, I have not been as blown away aesthetically. Like, I don't feel like my visual experience with Tunnel Rat has been quite as impressive as I've found with other figures recently. You know, like when I opened the box, I just didn't feel like he sang to me quite the same way as being Bended or a Range Viper or Snow Job. You know, some of the other more recent releases that I've opened up and reviewed on the channel, and I'm not entirely sure why that is either. So that's problematic, I realise, for a review that I can't articulate why it is, but there's something that's just not quite doing it for me. But something's not wowed me. It might just be that I don't like the colour of the shirt, you know. However, he works. He totally works. So in the interest of balance, I've got to say it. You know, I think he's a great figure. I just, there's something in my personal preferences that are not leaning quite as much towards him as I have done with others. And the fact that I've been faffing around with this loose stuff on here, and these float a bit as well, actually, while I'm on the subject, and I've found them a bit annoying, may have also tainted my view of the overall visual experience. So that could very well be the case. But let me know in the comments down below what you think of him visually. I'm still going to give it the thumbs up because I think he's a good-looking tunnel rat. I just think he's not working for me, you know, and that's fine. That's cool. I hope he works for you. You know? All right, well, there's the aesthetic. Let's now take a look at the articulation. So once again then, folks, when it comes to articulation, I have, the only thing I can report is that it's standard G.I. Joe Classified Series articulation. But if you've not seen G.I. Joe Classified articulation before, or you're just curious to see about things like how this obstructs, then I'll do a quick rundown. So starting above the shoulders, in the head there, we've got the ball and hinge on the neck, and then the ball and hinge at the bottom of the neck. Full 360, tilt, swivel, up and down, lots of good motion there. You can't get it quite far as back as I would have liked for, tunnel ratting. To get him down on his hands and knees. That's something of note. And also my joint at the bottom of the neck is a little bit loose, so his head bobbles a little bit. Can you see that there? But it's the standard articulation nonetheless. Moving down to the shoulders, you can see the butterfly joint there, giving him some shuffle back and forth. Hinge in the armpits, giving you the T shape. And you can, of course, go all the way around like usual. Swivel here at the top of the bicep and tricep. Nice pinless elbow, getting you all the way up to there. Then it's the standard G.I. Joe Classified Series hands with the pins going into the wrist there. So you've got swivel all the way around. And then on this left arm, it's a hinge forward and back. And on the right hand, it's the hinge going up and down. Into the torso, and you can see the cut across the centre of it there. That gives you good crunch forward, good crunch backwards, lots of manoeuvrability there. Oh, his pistol's just fallen out the holster. I wasn't going to talk about that until I got to the accessories. But folks, spoiler alert, the pistol's really loose in the holster. And then the ball swivel here at the waist. Good range of motion there. Lots of movement. That's lovely jubbly. Standard G.I. Joe Classified Series drop-down hinge in the groin there. I don't know if you can see here, I've got some stress marks on mine. I don't know if you can see that there on camera, but there's like a little, where it's come off the mould, there's like a little bit of plastic, like a nubbin that's inside the groin there that's been catching on the top of the leg as I've been moving it and doing stuff like that, which is a bit annoying. It's the good range of motion though, stress mark complaints aside, good forward there. Got your Russian ballet splits, real good movement there. Look at that. Well done, Tunnel Rat. Whoa, that boy's been training. Whew. Same story as always with the back. It's obstructed by the curvature of the arse cheeks. Got the thigh cuts in there, so there's swivel at the top of the thigh. Double knee that bends all the way up. Mine, it was really stiff out the box. I had to give him a bit of a bath the other day. Get a bit of hot water on those to loosen them up. In fact, this one's probably still a bit tight. Yeah, that one's still a bit tight. But I had to, with a bit of heat, as you can see, it sorts it out. But this one here on this side was like a Valaverse figure. I was afraid to move it at first, so like I might snap it off. Then down here, we've got no boot cut up top. But there's a boot cut down the bottom here. I don't know if you can see that. If I move, you can see I'm moving the foot. If I hold on to the leg, a bit like Snow Jobs was, where it's because it's the boot is underneath the trouser leg here, so it's there. It's a bit squiffy. It's not quite as convenient and quick and easy as when you've got the boot cut at the top of the leg because you're moving it in there. But it's definitely there. And then you've got the standard hinge and rocker on the feet there, giving you a range of motion in the ankles. So, yeah, I've got, his thumbs up on the articulation. I've been having a good, merry old time. I do find I was trying to do some, tunnel ratty things, getting him down on his elbows and knees. That was a bit tricky because I couldn't quite get the head to do what I wanted to do. But I think it's possible. More talented posers than I may have achieved more in that space than I've managed to do. But overall, the options are there. It does give me a vast array of opportunity in terms of articulation for my play experience and the little carpet storytelling fun that I want to have with my figures. So it's all there. This one had a few bits like the loose joint in the neck, the really stiff knees, and then I'm finding the boot cut under the trouser leg a little bit tricky at times, but that's okay. And then obviously the disappointment of the stress mark in the groin because of that stupid molding line inside the groin area. But those are unique to my figure. That's not necessarily going to be your experience. The quality of the G.I. Joe Classified Series, the standard quality of the G.I. Joe Classified Series articulation is present in Tunnel Rat, so it's definitely a thumbs up on that front. Okay, on to accessory selection now then, and the headline is, folks, Tunnel Rat really shines when it comes to the accessories. Let's get started with his weaponry. So here's his big old heavy machine gunny thing. This is reminiscent of the classic vintage figure weaponry, I'm told. I never owned a Tunnel Rat back in the day, so I have no recollection of this. It's interesting. Do heavy machine guns come with big old sights like that on them? Looks odd to me, but I like the two different colours on there, you know, the green on the butt and on the grip here and on the bipod, which also folds down like that, which is nice. Bipods are becoming increasingly more frequent, aren't they, with the G.I. Joe Classified series weapons. Nice sculpting, you can see like the sort of grill vent pattern across the barrel there, and lots of lovely details. It comes with an ammo case, which is down here somewhere. There it is, with some paint application across the bullets. This only fits in one particular way, so there's a little chamber at the bottom of the gun here, and it goes in with the bullets on the left-hand side. There it is, as I'm holding it, and they kind of sit in that little section there. So yeah, that's nice. Then we've got his little dagger. This is sort of standard, you know, daggery action. Nice metallic paint job on the blade, and then a molded hilt there. Good looking dagger that does daggery things. And that's got a storage area here in the left leg. Just slide it in the sheath like so. Then we've got his revolver here. I quite like this, although it's edging a little bit towards, you know, the Indiana Jones flimsiness. It's definitely a bit of a wobbly piece of work, but aesthetically, I like what they're doing here. Got the brown handle on it, and the revolver's a nice little touch. I always appreciate when we get a little bit of variety in the weaponry that sort of connects to, or gives the character a bit more personality in terms of their weapon choices. So it's all right, but it's a bit, I don't know, a bit wibbly wobbly and flimsy, but there you go. This fits in that halter on the chest, but as we've already seen, it's not a fantastic fit in there. It's a bit loose. I keep knocking it out. That's actually not too bad if I really give it a push down there like I've just done. But I've found when posing him up that seems to fall out, and I feel like the weight of the gun in the holster then impacts this whole like cross shoulder holster loosey floaty thing, and I'm faffing and fiddling to try and make him look half decent like that, you know. Then into his more kind of practical accessories, we've got his fancy man bag satchel knapsack, nicely sculpted piece of work in a brown piece of plastic. It's got the nice textured fabric look on it. Desperately in need of a paint application on the buckle though to really finish it off. My hopes were obviously raised too high by the Range Viper, and it has not been continued further there. He obviously likes carrying a lot of stuff around with him, because we're about to look at his backpack, but that just drapes over his shoulder. I've been putting it left shoulder to right hip, because obviously I feel like there's a lot of stuff already going in that direction with the holster and the bullet belts. Here's his big old beastly backpack. Again, a lovely piece of sculpting work with some nice textured details in there. They've teased me with a little bit of paint application on these two little clasps at the top here, but not really gone the full distance. Once again, the poor backpack sculpting person, the individual who does these over at Hasbro, has been hard done by, because there's loads of opportunity to bring these further to life, and that's a step in the right direction, but not really there. But it's a great piece of kit. Peg on the back here to go in the peg hole on Tunnel Rat's back, and if you can get through all the mess of stuff that's going on here, you could just peg it in like so. Little note on the backpack, actually, while I'm there. This is heavy. This is very heavy, and it does have a habit of toppling the figure over if you've not quite got his centre of gravity right, like so. Then we've got his torches. There are two that come with Tunnel Rat here. A black moulded piece of plastic with a little kind of nightlight thingy going on there. These are nice. These are fine. I like accessories like this that are sort of generically useful across your G.I. Joe Classified collections. You could use torches with anybody, really. You know, they're just a practical tool that any soldier would carry, so these are useful just broadly speaking. You get two there, but in the case of Tunnel Rat, you can store these on his backpack. We've got these two channels here in the top shoulders, and I've kind of been placing them in facing forward as if he's been using them, you know, facing forward to light his way ahead like so. Got them facing forward there, you know, just lighting his way ahead, which I think is a nice look. Then finally, we've got the night vision goggles. Here they are. Mine are still a bit warped and misshapen, but we've got this kind of strap thing going over the top of his head. Then you've got the night vision lenses here at the front. You can see with the green night vision glow thing going on. This is okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just really warped and misshapen. It's not a great piece of work. When you put it over his head, it does kind of fall into place. I just kind of sweep it over the top like so, and then just sort of manipulate it down so that it's in place. Still a little bit off center, but it's all right. I'm not a fan. I'm just going to straight up say it. I'm not a fan. Even if it was slightly better implemented, I can't see me using it. It just, I don't know, just looks really pants, doesn't it? Doesn't flap forward. It's dead flimsy and rubbery. You know, it's just, nah. So, Tunnel Rat, yeah, I mean, I've got to give him a thumbs up as far as accessories go, because it's certainly added value, isn't it? There's a lot of stuff in there that you can use that's great for, you know, telling the character's story, for posing him in interesting ways, for opening up the range of options that are available to you. So I kind of have to give it a thumbs up, but it's wavering a bit because the implementation of some of these accessories are not so great. In fact, I think that I may have even just here and now in the moment put my finger on what's not sitting right with me in terms of Tunnel Rat aesthetically, because he's very busy, isn't he? Just lots of things everywhere, making him really, really busy, and sort of annoying little strappy bits that are very hard to manipulate into a nice-looking way of sitting, and it's all a bit fidgety and fiddly and busy and noisy in that respect. And I think I'm possibly going to strip this guy down, get rid of that bullet belt, might even get rid of the cross holster, just take him right down to the basics, and keep the neckerchief on there perhaps. But I don't often do that. I like having all my stuff on my G.I. Joe Classified, but not so much with this guy. So yes, it's a good accessory selection. Yes, it's good added value. You know, you're getting bang for your buck there. I was only talking about Dr. Mindbender just the other day and saying, like, you know, I've paid a deluxe convention exclusive price and I'm not, you know, it's as much stuff, arguably. You know what I mean? It's probably as much plastic. So yeah, I don't know. But there's, you know, there's a lot in there for doing stuff with, so you can't complain, can you? So that's where I'm at with accessories, folks. Right, let's now move on and do a couple of figure comparisons. So here's Tunnel Rat with Beachhead. I just reached straight for Beachhead when I opened up the Tunnel Rat the other day and started playing with these two together because, you know, the movie is a big part of my formative love of G.I. Joe, following my reading of Action Force comics, so these two just seemed like a great match for me right out the gate. Here he is with fellow noob on the shelf, Snow Job here. This Snow Job's fully kitted up. You can see I've stripped me Tunnel Rat back down straight away, but there he is. Here's Tunnel Rat with a Cobra Viper, because I'd just like to throw one in from the other side of the display, you know, from the villain side, and the Cobra Viper again just felt appropriate to me. And I'll just finish up with Flint here. I've just stood them as straight as I could get them, because they've both been posed and played around with quite a bit now, but just to give you a sense of the height difference, how they've made Tunnel Rat a little bit shorter as per the character's bio. Here we are then, folks. Here's Tunnel Rat going round on the turntable. This is how I think I've settled on him from playing with him today. I've definitely stripped back a lot of that busyness and bulk. The backpack's awesome, but it's really bulky. This was doing me head in, so I got rid of that. I'm not bothering with the night vision goggles, but I still want to tell the story with the character. So the torch, the handgun, kind of making him look like he's investigating a dark, dank place. I still want that in. Kept the knapsack on there. I'm still not entirely happy with the positioning. I'm going to have to try and do something with this cross holster, a little dab of glue or something to keep it in place because it's winding me up, but there we go. And I think overall I recommend the figure. Again, it's one of those tough ones really where the standard is so high and I hold them to such a high regard that the little things, you know, rise to the top and then sort of interfere overall, because fundamentally I'm very, very happy with the figure. He's an iconic character. He means a lot to me in terms of being a G.I. Joe the movie fan, and I like the design, you know, and I think the fact that the colour of the shirt is just not to my taste it means isn't really a reason for me to give him a bad review. You know, my particular one does have his issues, a few QC issues with the crunchy knees, the wobbly head, the stress marks in the groin. So there's a few articulation issues there. And that stuff with the bullet belt and the cross holster was really annoying. But overall, he's a good figure. And I reckon there's a lot of you out there who'll be looking at this going, well, he might not be fully to your taste, Chris, but he's definitely to mine. I can't wait to get my hands on my Tunnel Rat. He is a character I love since I was a kid, kind of thing, and absolutely they've captured that vibe for sure. So I cannot criticise any more than saying bit of QC issues and not fully to my tastes. And that's it. You know, so there's got to be a MoDXtra recommends really on that criteria. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair to other stuff I've reviewed on the channel. Do you know what I mean? And maybe I am, or is it the other way around? Am I too forgiving because I love G.I. Joe Classified series so much? Ooh, interesting question. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. I will reflect and contemplate on that one. But there we are. There's Turnaround, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. So, of course, as usual, the general YouTube McGubbins, if you've found the review useful today, then please do take a moment to hit the like, hit the buttons, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I do loads of G.I. Joe Classified series content here on MoDXtra Games and Collectibles, as well as all sorts of other stuff. Action figures, trading cards, comic book stuff. If you're into just a broad church of nerddom like me, then this could very well be the channel for you. But thanks for watching. You could have chosen a bazillion other channels over mine, so I'm so grateful that you chose mine today. I hope you have a great day, and please do come back round for some more content sometime soon. Thanks very much, and I'll see you later, folks.